What is up, comic book fans, readers, collectors, cover lovers? Everyone is welcome here at NerdyGeeks Comics, no matter how you collect. Today is Wednesday, August the 6th, 2025. So you know what that means. It's New Comic Book Day. So I'm going to be showing y'all what I picked up on this new comic book day. I got a good stack. It's not my normal stack. Trying to save some money, so I'm not going to say I didn't grab a lot, but I didn't pick up everything. I'm probably going to have to wait till next week to do that, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's get to my stack. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get to my stack, and you can see what I picked up this week. We're going to start off with Wolverines and Deadpools. I believe this is cover B or A by Alessandro Cappuccio. Really nice cover art right here. So I've actually really enjoyed this series. It's only issue 2, but of course, you know, Deadpool and Ellie get an assignment to go to, I want to say, somewhere in Mexico or South America. And when they do, it turns out that there's the children in the village are being captured. And when they get down there, they run into Wolverine and X-23. So of course, Deadpool's all excited to see Wolverine. He's all excited because Ellie gets her first chance to have a crossover with Wolverine and X-23. And Wolverine and Deadpool split up from their daughters, and they go out to the jungle to start looking for something, trying to find clues. Ellie and X-23 stay in town, and it turns out that they're both attacked. Wolverine and Deadpool are able to overcome their person, and Ellie and X-23 are able to overcome theirs. And then that's basically how it ends. When this one starts, it starts right off from there. Deadpool realizes that the girls were attacked too, and rushes over there to get to them to make sure they're okay. Ellie's still mad that X-23 stabbed her. X-23 said it was in order to save her life. Besides, she has a healing factor, so what does she care? And then we find out that the reason the children are being taken is because their life force is being used by the Shadow King, and the Shadow King wants Ellie. That's his whole goal. So it was a ruse from the start to get Deadpool and Ellie down there. And then Wolverine and X-23 showing up wasn't part of his plan, but he said doesn't matter. They're in the inconsequence. It's a consequence. Is that the right word? I don't know if it's a word. Either way, I've actually really liked this story. Again, I'm a big Deadpool fan. I really like Ellie as a character, and seeing Deadpool and Wolverine play off each other, and seeing Ellie and X-23 play off of each other. And then actually in this one, they flip it where Wolverine and Ellie go off together, and Deadpool and X-23 go off together, and you see that dynamic. So it's actually pretty fun that way. You know, if you're not a Wolverine or Deadpool fan, I don't know if you're gonna like it. I've enjoyed it. It's a fun read. I think there's only one more issue. We'll see what happens with that. Next, I have Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2, number 3. And this is actually cover B by Riccardo Federici. Really nice cover right here. You got Godzilla, you got King Ghidorah back there, Harley, King Shark. Really cool, really nice cover right here. This isn't just a cover by, but I haven't cracked into this series yet. It's just been on the back burner. I've been trying to catch up with everything else. I will read this, but anyways, I thought this was a great cover, so this is the one I picked up. All right, next we have the unavailable Gwenpool, number 4. And this is cover A by Chad Hardin. You see, like I said on the last haul video, that Gwenpool is now a ghost, and you have X-31 Gwen Stacy down there holding Spider-Man. So I have read this one, and again, I am a fan of Gwenpool, Unbelievable Gwenpool. I love that series. She's just a fun character to me. But so Gwenpool is now a ghost. She, spoilers if you care about spoilers. If not, here we go. I should have said that before the other ones. Anyways, she possessed Peter at the end of the last issue, and then she goes to find X-31 Gwen Stacy, and whenever she does, Gwen is actually trying to be a hero. She doesn't like what they've turned her into, and I forget who is the one in control of her, but he basically tells her that it's time for her to return to base. She refuses. He says, no, you need to return to base. She refuses. She says, what's the point of bringing me back if you're just going to have me murdering people? I should be helping people, because there's riots and things like that happening in the streets because basically humans are tired of costumed superheroes, and they feel like their lives are always in danger because of all the fighting they do in the streets. So they're rioting. So X-31 wants to go down there and help. It turns out that he has some type of nanotech in her blood that he's able to create pain in her, like an electric shock type thing that just goes throughout her whole body. She can't do anything about it. So once he does that, she agrees to go home. But before she does go and try and help some of the civilians who are being attacked. And whenever she does that, Gwen, who's possessing Peter, comes down, starts fighting with her, and she doesn't want to fight with him, but she doesn't know that Gwen is in there. And whenever Peter looks like he's getting the upper hand, Kate Bishop, who's been in this since issue 1, comes in a van, hits Peter, and then you see Peter inside of his head talking to Gwen's ghost as she has him held hostage, all webbed up in his mind. And it's kind of cool the way they do that, because the art of Peter and the surroundings, other than Gwen, is like that old, 60s style art with, you see all the dots and everything in the colors. It's actually pretty cool how they do that, and they make Peter look like that original Peter Parker. But then whenever that happens, whenever they're talking, more civilians come out and say, hey, look, there's more of those costume freaks, let's get them. And they actually start beating up Kate. And since Gwen is still hurt, this Gwen is still hurt from fighting with Peter, they're able to overtake her real quick. And Peter tells Gwenpool, let me out, let me take over so I can save them. So Gwen does. He saves them. And during the chaos and everything, it turns out that now, I guess, since Gwen has possessed Peter and Kate, that they can see her now. They can see her ghost. And while they're talking, they realize that Kate's van is gone and Gwen is gone. And they go to try and find out. They're trying to figure out where she went. Gwenpool has a pretty good idea where it is, and ends up confronting her at her grave, or at the grave of Gwen Stacy. And she decides that she's going to dig down there to see if she's down there or not. So I'm still enjoying this. I'm really liking it. Again, Gwen better come back. I love Gwenpool. This Gwen is all right, but this is the one I like. So hopefully Gwen comes back. But so far, I'm enjoying the story. And here we have Birds of Prey number 24. And this is the Black Canary cover by Eom. And this is just really great cover, guys. Like, check that out. You got the little yellow canary down there. You got Black Canary sitting there getting her gloves on, ready to go do some damage to, the bad guys or what have you. And this is a straight cover buy. I'm not reading Birds of Prey. I've heard it's good. I mean, it must be. It's at issue 24, so that's got to be good, because most of our books don't last 10, 15 issues, much less, mid 20s. But this is a straight cover buy. Maybe once I get caught up on everything, I can start reading up on this, because I have heard it's pretty good. But yeah, this is just a cover buy for the EOM artwork. Really nice. And here, this is another cover buy. I have read this, but this is the second printing. And here we have Mark Spears #3, the second print. And this is Something Wicked This Way Comes. And we have a witch right here. And also, I have another Mark Spears Monsters #3, a second print. And this is the retailer incentive. And it is the 1 in 20 incentive of the swamp creature. I don't know what his name is. Really cool cover. He kind of looks like a mix of Killer Croc and Swamp Thing. I mean, he's got that scaled skin and everything, but he doesn't look like a crocodile. He looks more mannish, but really cool cover. You got the alligators in there. You got that blood trail in the water, the eyeballs sticking out. Really nice cover, guys. I'm really glad I was able to pick this up. And next, I have Absolute Green Lantern #5. I believe this is cover C, and it's the Terso variant. Terso variant. Really nice artwork right here. Really great cover. And Absolute Green Lantern is another one that I am reading. I have really enjoyed this series. It is a slow burn. Like, they are taking their time on this story, and it is different. You still have, Hal in there. You have John Stewart, Guy Gardner's in there, but it's not going the way you think. Like, you think, oh, okay, this is where Hal gets the ring, or this is where John gets the ring, or this is where Guy gets the ring. And it's not quite there. Abin Sur is there judging people, see what they are. And it kind of, when you first read it, it seems like maybe he's killing them if they're not found to be worthy. But it turns out that after he's confronted by Hal, but Hal's kind of not the Hal we're used to. This Hal is very jumpy and impulsive, and Abin Sur is telling them they're not. But Abin Sur doesn't speak, normal like we do. His speech is their lives are not gone. They are with the Guardians, and Hal just can't understand, and bad stuff happens to Hal. But I really like this series. Like I said, it is a slow burn. I'm hoping that now that we're getting to issue 5, we're going to see where it's going to go from here. But as of right now, I mean, this whole thing basically takes place in one little town and then in a diner. And it's mostly Hal. And I forget her name right now. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I'm really liking this series. So if you're not reading Absolute Green Lanterns, you should check it out. And here, I have Absolute Batman #10. This is cover A by Rafa Sandoval. Yeah, this is the Rafa Sandoval cover A. Really cool artwork right there. You can see Superman in the reflection of the mask. Really nice art. So again, this is one that I am reading. I have enjoyed Absolute Superman the entire read. There hasn't been one issue that's been a down issue. It's all been very consistent. The issue with Brainiac was really, really good. And it looks like, I don't know if it's Raz, Raish, whatever. However you say it in your head is how you say it in your head. I've always gone with Ra's al Ghul because that's how I read it, and I'm just used to it. But looks like he's going to be the big bad on this one. He's been in the background, but now in the last issue, he really seems like he's ready to step out. And it seems like him and Superman might be confronting each other in this issue. We'll find out. I really like this series so far. So, if you're not reading it or if you've just been curious, check it out and give it a read. And here I have Captain America #2. This is the Just Spectacular collection by J. Scott Campbell. Campbell's not known for drawing his male characters all that well. Of course, he's known for his Mary Jane and right now his Rogue covers, all his female covers. But this is a pretty nice cap. And like I said, I was going to pick up the trade. I didn't go for the 1 in 100 on this one, but I did read issue 1. I really did like it. It is Cap waking up in modern day Marvel. He's not an Avenger, at least at the end of issue 1. They invited him, but he said, well, he's not sure if he's ready to get out of the army yet. So he actually goes back to the army and go fight some more. I haven't read this one yet, but I am this one will be one I read tonight or tomorrow. We'll find out. But I did like the first issue. Hopefully they keep going. Chip Zdarsky is writing it, and so far I've really enjoyed it. Okay, and next I have The Amazing Spider-Man #9. And if you've been keeping up with FOCs lately, then you know what cover this is. This is another J. Scott Campbell, the Just Spectacular collection. And we have Mary Jane. This is the trade. Really great Mary Jane artwork on this one, guys. I mean, Jay is known for his Mary Jane. He has said that he wanted to be known for his Mary Jane, and I think he did another great job with this Mary Jane cover. Really good cover, guys. I'm not reading Amazing Spider-Man. I'm reading Ultimate Spider-Man. That's the one I like. Not happy that it's ending at issue 24. So what do we have? 5 issues left, I think. So I'll probably have to start reading this one. I've heard good, I've heard bad. It seems to be like one of those middle of the road books, but it does seem to be better than the last volume of Amazing Spider-Man. So hopefully it does end up being a good series. Maybe it picks up once Ultimate Spider-Man ends. But this is definitely a cover by great J. Scott Campbell Mary Jane cover right here. And next, this is a series that I am reading and I am caught up with because I did read this issue today. And here we have Uncanny X-Men #19, another Just Spectacular collection by J. Scott Campbell. And we have a great Rogue cover right here. And that is my favorite. Rogue is in the green and yellow with the flight jacket. The one from the 90s. This is my favorite look. And he just did a great job with Rogue right here. I did get the 1 in 100. I did not pick it up today because it was way more than I was expecting it to be. But I'll probably go ahead and grab that next week. But a great cover right here. Really like it. I am enjoying the Uncanny X-Men series. It's not the best, but of the X-Men series, it's on par with the regular X-Men with Cyclops and Beast and all them over there in Alaska. I just like this one better because I am a Rogue fan. I am a Wolverine fan. Nightcrawler I love. Gambit I love. So just more of the characters I really like over here. That's why I'm enjoying it more. The Outliers, at least in this issue, it feels like they were put more to the back burner, which is good for me because they've been put up in the front in a lot of these issues lately. And I like my original X-Men. If they want to do an Outliers book, go ahead. But I came here for these characters, and this is basically Jubilee's story. So this is a Jubilee story, and she is been aged up a little bit. I mean, she's probably 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there. And she willingly admits that she is known as, the non-threatening X-Men. Everyone knows Wolverine can do damage, Gambit, Rogue, but she's not known for that. And she's at a diner You don't actually see what happened. She tells you the story about it, but she's at a diner where one of the waitresses is a mutant, and she's being harassed by these customers who look like they're like well-to-do, they have money and things like that. So basically she destroys their car, you know, kind of roughs them up a little bit. And now Deadpool and Outlaw show up because they've been hired to go to the house to distract the X-Men, while that same guy goes to the diner to do something, is all Deadpool knows. And Deadpool's job was to distract the X-Men, but he actually lets them know that he's here to warn them about what's going on. So Jubilee tells them this is something she needs to do on her own. And she, you know, Gambit and Rogue, of course, say, we'll go with you. And she says, no, this is something I need to do. And Gambit says, I understand. If you need me, I'm here. She goes, she sits down. Of course, he has his whole minion of mercenaries there with him. He's got Uzi or something, you know, pointed at her. He wants to do his whole monologue about how his dad cut him out of his will, and basically because of what happened, he said he was irresponsible for letting that happen to the car and, you know, putting himself in that type of situation. So he cuts him out of the will, and of course his dad passes away, and now he had to cash in his trust fund, which I guess is not enough for him to live off of. It'd be nice to have a trust fund, but in the way he sees it, he lost everything. So he cashed in his trust fund to hire all these mercenaries to go and do whatever he felt like to Jubilee and to the waitress. And, you know, in this series, we've learned that the mutants have, you know, a symbol they use where they make like a M shape with their hand or something. And it's basically lets other mutants know, hey, I'm a mutant. This is a safe place, you know, things like that. Are you okay? And in this one, she uses it to let them know, hey, duck. And as soon as she does that, she, you know, takes out the guy, takes out all of his minions, really puts a hurt on them, because they come in thinking, oh, all we need are goggles and she can't hurt us, because, you know, she's just known for her little fireworks and pyrotechnics and it gets bright. But she tells them, oh, you don't know that I've leveled up since then. And she, you know, makes a huge explosions. These guys go flying out. The main guy who hired them says, oh, I'm blind, you blinded me. And she's dragging him outside. And then that's when Gambit shows up saying, you know, of course he's saying, good job, you know, I'm proud of you. And she says, why don't you take him somewhere where he'll learn a lesson. And supposedly they're going to drop that guy off at the Savage Land. But that's how this issue ends. I really liked it. It was a good Jubilee story. But again, I'm enjoying Uncanny X-Men, so I grabbed this one. And here, this is both a cover by, and I am a huge sci-fi fan, so I had to get Cruel Universe #1 by EC. And this is, of course, cover A by Lee Bermejo. And this is just great artwork on this, guys. I mean, check out that artwork. You can see that there's something coming after her. She's afraid. This guy over here is really not paying attention to anything. He's just looking at that skull, but something is coming after her. And you can see the fear in her eyes. Just really good artwork on this. And there was also a foil variant of this, which I did pre-order. They do have it. I will pick it up next week. I will be reading this. If it's anything like Epitaph, then it's going to be an anthology. I think Epitaph had maybe 2 to 3 stories per issue. So if this has the same thing, you know, a nice, easy read. You can read one story at a time, or, you know, burn through them all if you want. But, you know, I love this cover. Lee Bermejo lately has been killing it on his covers, especially with his Amazing Spider-Man covers. I've been trying to pick up all of those and the 1 in 25s every chance I get, so I was not going to miss this one. And now, probably my favorite series of all time, and if you've been watching, you know it is Something's Killing the Children. Here we have issue number 43. And this so far, this since issue 41, I want to say, or 40, 41, somewhere around there. It's been about backstory of Erica Slaughter working with Jessica, and you know the backstory of how Jessica trained her, but Jessica is at this point becoming really unraveled, drinking really heavily, and Erica is the one who has to do pretty much everything. It seems like she's the one that's going on hunts on her own. She's the one that's making sure they get to the next town that they're supposed to be at on their own. She's the one that's doing all the check-ins and all that whenever they get to the hotel, because Jessica is just really not doing well. She is just barely hanging on. She's barely sober enough to drive or to walk around, but she's just mentally gone. And I've enjoyed it so far. You know, I'm hoping we get back to the modern, you know, Erica Slaughter, but I don't know how they're going to do that, because if you read what happened at the end of issue 36, maybe 37, you know, that's going to be something that's going to be pretty difficult to do. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm still going to be picking these up. So of course I had to get cover A, and of course I had to get the amazing Dan Panosian variant. Really nice artwork on there, guys. As always, Dan Panosian has just been doing great cover after great cover recently, and he just hit another home run with this cover. You got Erica with her chainsaw with the blood on it. I like the shoes. I don't know why, but those shoes kind of work really nice. And she's on a what is that called? A carousel. So really good Dan Panosian cover right here. There's also a 1 in 20 Virgin, but this one is my favorite cover of the week. I love this cover ever since I first saw it, and they first put out, you know, the artwork, what it's going to be like. And I want to say this was 2 or 3 months ago. I was like, I'm going to pick this one up. And of course it is the Suspiria foil variant. Really, I mean, guys, I wish y'all could see this better. You know, I know there's a lot of glare. Foils are really hard to show off, but this is just an amazing cover right here. The colors do pop out more than you see right here, but man, that is just a great cover. I'm hoping to be at NYCC this year, and hopefully Suspiria shows up. She doesn't seem to do a lot of cons, but hopefully at NYCC she'll show up and I can get an autograph, because this is just, you know, great cover art. Look at that, guys. Really, really nice. And like I said, this I'm not doing it justice by showing y'all this right here. It pops out way more than it's showing up on the camera, but really great. And guys, that was my last book. That was my last one for my new comic book day haul. Like I said, I had a pretty good haul this week. I didn't pick up everything because I am on a little bit of a budget this week. Next week, hopefully I'll be able to, you know, get my back issues and everything like that. But I appreciate y'all watching, guys. I hope you got all the covers you wanted and all the variants you wanted. And I hope you enjoy all your reads, and I'll see y'all next time.